One of the more interesting details in the Bible is that the demons seem to recognize Jesus immediately. While others debate, question, or misunderstand, the demons appear to know exactly who stands before them. The text describes them as trembling, as though they are confronted with something they cannot ignore. Many spiritual traditions speak about the tension between truth and illusion, awareness and unconsciousness, clarity and confusion. The language of demons can be understood as a way of expressing the fears, assumptions, and patterns of thought that keep a person bound to a limited view of themselves and the world. Fear often depends upon a certain story. It persuades us that we are powerless, separate, or at the mercy of circumstances. Over time, those ideas can become so familiar that they feel like facts. Yet as we become more aware of them, those assumptions become harder to maintain. This may help explain the image of trembling. A false belief becomes unsettled when it can no longer remain unquestioned. The experience is familiar even outside a religious context. Someone may carry a limiting view of themselves for years, only to discover that it was built upon a misunderstanding. The belief does not disappear all at once, but it is no longer accepted with the same certainty. Something that once seemed obvious begins to look different. Christ represents a higher awareness of reality. The stories surrounding him repeatedly point toward healing, restoration, forgiveness, and wholeness. These themes suggest a consciousness rooted in truth rather than fear. When that consciousness appears, ideas sustained by fear are brought into the light of a broader understanding. The image of demons trembling therefore becomes less about conflict and more about recognition. The encounter brings hidden assumptions into view. Truth has a way of exposing assumptions that previously went unnoticed. Once seen clearly, they can no longer occupy the same unquestioned place in the mind. The image points to something that happens within every person. There are moments when we outgrow a fear without even noticing when the change began. There are moments when an idea that once seemed unquestionable starts to look different. A belief that shaped our decisions for years may suddenly appear incomplete, and the certainty we once attached to it begins to fade. The symbolism of trembling captures that moment of instability. It reflects what happens when a familiar way of seeing the world encounters a deeper understanding. It suggests that many of the forces that govern our experience derive their strength from being accepted without examination. Once they are brought into awareness, their authority begins to diminish, and a different way of seeing becomes possible.